So a few years ago I wrote a show called Half the Sky. 6 monologues for actresses, with music by Reid Anderson accompanying it. So there was a monologue, then a song, then a monologue, then a song, then a monologue, then a song, then a break. Same thing in the second half. And the idea is 6 stories from women in various stages of their lives. This is one that was performed by Natalie Timmons, performed excellently. And it's about a girl who starts off as a girl who's about to tell you something about herself, as though she would present to a class or a meeting of some kind. So I'm going to read it as it's written for a woman, rather than changing it back to myself. So, you know what's weird? I was thinking about what I was going to tell you. I thought we were all supposed to be telling our life stories, but then you turn up on the first day and everyone's doing different stuff. No one's telling their life story. They're just talking about little things that have happened to them. And they all seem okay, but they're all dead posh. And they all seem more interesting than me. Nothing's ever happened to me. So when the guys asked what I was going to say, I told them I wasn't sure and could I do it next time. I took the stuff that I'd written down back home and I binned it because it wasn't interesting enough. But I thought I had something I could tell you about. The weird thing is, I thought I'd written it down years ago when I kept a diary. But I went through every diary that I had and all the boxes I used to hide little notes in. Am I the only one who does that? Hides notes to themselves with important things on? I'm not the only one, am I? Oh God, I'm going to look stupid. What's weird though, is I can't find it anywhere. I'm starting to think that I dreamt that I wrote it. And that's funny, because it was about a dream. I used to dream about flying. Not getting on a plane for your holidays flying. Proper flying. I used to dream I could fly. Do other people get that? Did other people get that when they were young? Dream that they could fly? The thing is, I could feel it. I could feel how the flying felt. I didn't have wings or anything. I was just me, but I could fly. I was about 13, still at home with my mum, just after we'd moved up here. Dad had done one ages before. Didn't see him after I was about 10. Mum spent a lot of time in church. She went to church. I dreamt. This is how it worked. Always the same thing. I'd walked into our road where there was like this T-junction, and right at the end of our road was Julie Morris's house. I'd stand in front of it and I'd lift up one foot. Always my right foot first. I'd put it down again. But I'd put it down in the air. I'd feel the air. It was kind of like I was standing on a cushion. I couldn't see the cushion. It moved around underneath me. It was there. It would take my weight. So I'd balance on it. I'd lift my left foot up higher than my right until both my feet would stand on the air. I'd push down on one and lift the other. I'd keep doing it. Slowly to start with, then a bit faster. Like walking upstairs. Like walking up the best stairs ever. Until I could see over the top of Julie's house. There was a railway line behind Julie's, and behind that was the local plots. They're a housing estate now, so people would see you, even in your dreams. So I'd kick on and, walk across the railway in the air, and then over the plots, getting higher and higher. There'd be birds flying past me, looking at me like I was weird, like I shouldn't be there, which I probably shouldn't. It was dark. It was always dark. Well, it would be, wouldn't it? I only ever did it at night. Which is why I thought that maybe I wasn't really dreaming it. Maybe I was really flying. And the dreams, if they were dreams, I'd tell myself, you're not dreaming this. You're doing this. And I believed it. And it happened every night. And every night I'd go a bit higher and a bit further and I'd get faster. Until I didn't need to push my feet down anymore. I'd get to the top of Julie's house each night. I'd kick down and I'd fly. Like swimming, but no need to do any work. Just moving through the air, sailing. I went out past Croxteth and Norris Green. I saw Speke Airport from the air above the plains. I followed the river all the way down the Wirral. I just kept getting better at it. Better and faster. I was faster than the trains. I could see them down below and I was leaving them behind. Way, way behind. I flew over Chester and down to Rill. I always liked Rill. We lived near there when I was little. Mum was on first name terms with the priest there. Up early first thing Sunday and down to Our Lady of the Assumption. I couldn't say Assumption when we went there. It was always Our Lady of the something. I went to see that. I went to see the old house. It didn't look as big from up there. There you go. There's a question for you. If it was a dream, how would I know what it looked like from up there? There's no way I could imagine what a house I lived in years ago looks like from above. I mean, I'm not daft, I'm pretty smart. But that smart? No. I was 13. How could I know what London looked like before I'd been there? That's right. I went to London, flew to London, and back in one night. I know. I know what you're thinking. Of course you did it in one night. You were dreaming, soft girl. But I could feel it. I could feel how cold the air was. I didn't feel cold in August and warm in December. It was always the right weather. If it was raining that night, then I felt rain. I saw snow out on the moors by Manchester. I didn't even know they were called the moors then. And I woke up to see snow on the weather on the telly. How did I do that then? How did I know that? You don't know, do you? And some of you sitting there going, I've done this. I know what you mean. If you did, then you know, don't you? You know how great it was. I never went outside England, except real obviously, and that's not really Wales, it's full of Scousers. I wish I had. I wish I'd gone to New York, or the Grand Canyon, or Paris. I'd have loved to fly around the Eiffel Tower. 6 months. I had 6 months. 6 months of being happy, and then stopped. Every night for 6 months, and then nothing. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how horrible that was? Being able to do that every night and then suddenly... The first time it didn't happen, I woke up confused. Woke up and couldn't figure out what was wrong with the world. The second time, I woke up in tears. From then on, I was scared to go to sleep. I didn't want to go to sleep in case it meant it wouldn't happen. And I couldn't bear it not happening. I hoped if I stayed awake long enough, it would just happen, like for real. It didn't. And eventually I started to forget they'd ever had. I could still feel it. I could feel something wrong with my feet, like they were tingling, like they should be pushing down on something, but they weren't. And then that wore off as well. I did my GCSEs and I learned to drink and I got a job and I took driving lessons. I met a fella, we got engaged, got married, and we were happy. We still are happy. Never argue, never fight. Seems too good to be true, doesn't it? Well, sometimes things that seem too good to be true actually are true. Sometimes you get to be happy ever after. Sometimes it's that easy. I know how lucky I am. I've always known how lucky I am. I've got a good life. But there are still some mornings, some ones when I wake up sad and not know why. I feel like I was missing something, but I never knew it was. And then one morning, I realised. I was going to work and I realised. I remembered that I could fly. I was sat on the bus and I suddenly thought, I used to be able to fly. It sounds daft, but it wasn't like I remembered that I used to dream I could fly. I remembered that I could fly. I could feel it again, feel a tingle in my feet, how the air used to feel on my face. I could remember being in the air, high up in the air, in the night, in the rain, in the dark, above everything else, just floating and sailing, all peaceful and content, like an angel. And then I was really confused. I knew that I must have been remembering dreams, but I didn't feel like I was. It felt like I was just remembering. I thought that maybe if I just tried, but I knew that was stupid. I walked around all day in a dream, trying to figure out if I was remembering a dream, or remembering a memory of a dream, or... It's really confusing this. I don't know if I'm putting it right. If I was remembering that I remembered a dream that was about something that I remembered. Does that make sense to you? I don't think it makes sense to me sometimes. But I think of it like this. When I was young, I could fly, but I forgot how to do it. And then I forgot that I could do it in the first place. And then I forgot that I forgot until I remembered. I didn't try though. I didn't try to fly. That'd be mad. Imagine how horrible it'd be if it didn't work. I just felt glad that I remembered flying. I didn't care if they were dreams or if it really happened. Those dreams, they're flying, remembering it all. It's the happiest I've ever been. And you might think that's sad, but it's not. I've been happy loads of times. I'm happy now. That was my happiest time, on my own, in the dark, in the cold, in the rain, in the air. You might not believe anything I've told you. You might think I'm mad, and you might be right. That's okay, I'm not bothered. To me, and I'm the only one that matters, the important thing is, once upon a time, I knew how it felt to fly.